Hello, welcome to Dan K's Reviews. This is my D&D talk. This particular one is going to be about DM tools. Stuff if you're going to be a new DM. These are some little things you can get. Like, I've been doing it for a while, so I've been getting lots of little toys and add-ons, and I always add new things. So this here is my deluxe DM screen, which I don't use that often. It looks cool. It is nice. The two towers here are actually dice rollers, which is really good. They can handle a bunch of dice at a time, which makes it really good. See? Ta-da! Which is nice. It's a good add-on, especially if you're doing lots of monster stuff. So it's a full-on thing. It comes apart. The back parts have little hooks on the back, so you just put little cue cards and papers and notes there. Has a full area where you can put people up top. So you put your figures along the top to show what you're doing in the campaign. So these are quite literally this little box things. There's dice towers, glorified dice towers, but they look nice. And by the way, myself and my friend Jordan actually put this whole thing together piece by piece. Every little piece of wood, every little branch here. I think there was like 600 pieces, this whole set, that had to be put together piece by piece in the right angle, and the instructions were not that nice. They were very, very vague. There was a little piece of wood that were shaped like lightning bolts, which we had no idea were. They're actually fasteners to the corners at the tops of these, which we didn't know until we put these here. The two dice towers are the last things put together. So let's see here. Front here, I actually want to put a logo there eventually. Let's see, the back has nice little shelves there too for any notes or toys or figures or anything you're putting in there. Again, nice DM screen, but a little overkill unless you're doing one hell of session. And it has a good look to it, so it's fun that way. DM screens are an important thing for any DM to have. So, for example, let's see, I don't need that yet. This is actually my first DM screen. Custom design, so you might see a little Legacy of Kain art there. A little randomizer of some things I like. Just make that picture of it myself. And that, yes, that is a dragon with a dog's face. That is actually my old dog, Guai, who passed away last year. His name was Guai Guai. And that's the Guai Guai dragon. I actually have a nice big picture of this too. This is actually a Christmas card I made for some friends of mine that all play D&D with us. I'll show you close to that in a bit. But in here, I just literally, I got this giant, so it's all in Chinese, except for that one paper there, which I put in there. And there's my critical dice roll. So if you roll a 1, you roll D100, and that's what happens. Good DM screen, used for years. Just tape things onto it all the time, it's great. The cover art was okay, I just wanted to make my own. Then, yeah, I upgraded. The next one I got was when 5th edition came out. So we had the nice little dragon, giant screen here. And again, this one's English, so it has all the little things in the back. And my favorite thing about the screen is it has a little book jacket. So you put that on there, which is cool. We want you. So you put that on there, and it has a little ending or edition done screen. So it looks great on your shelf. I put with my other D&D books. It lines up perfectly. The next screen, which I got recently this year for the Star Wars campaign we're finishing, is the Edge of the Empire dice screen. Which, oh dear God. If you're not used to that system, the dice are kind of weird, and this is a freaking lifesaver. It gives you everything you need on the dice, how to roll what, everything. It is a saver. Now, another thing. If you play D&D, you say, I'll take my character sheet home, because I want to do it. Nowadays, if you like a character sheet, take a shot of it with your phone before you leave the session. And as a DM, I have this binder. This is actually my first binder, which I used to carry my character sheet, my first character, which I've long since lost. But everyone's character sheet goes in here. End of the session, they go here, they stay here. No one else brings it home. Countless times that people say, oh yeah, I don't know where she is, so I think I know what my stats were and stuff, we'll just do it from there. Which isn't fair, because you could forget or modify or change things, which people have done in the past. So that's why they stay here. Campaign finishes, take it home with you. But for that time period, it belongs to you. It belongs here. Next thing a DM should always have. A very good book. This is basically my little story art book where I put all my storylines, D&D, maps, sessions, everything in here. If I do a session, I draw 2 maps. I make a second one, rip it out, and that goes on the board. This is my sketchbook, this is my notebook, this is something every DM should have with them when they're DMing, because if some character does something, write it down, because I guarantee later on down the road, they might remember it, you might forget it, and it looks bad as a DM. Keep memory sharp. Next thing is a DM. This is something which I found a good supplier for them, so I did it. Dice. Have dice for players who don't have dice or forget their dice, stuff like that. There is this. This is our loner dice. So if you forget your dice, we have a few. So we got 20s, 100s, 10s, 4s, you name it. And the cat's going to steal that one, I know. Even some micro dice. Which I don't recommend playing with. Like, a lot of people like micro dice, but I find them tedious and annoying, and they're easy to lose. Oh, they're cool. Now, that's the loner dice. But hey, I'm a DM. I should have my own dice, shouldn't I? And yes I do. They are inside him. This is my Cthulhu Dice Bag. They actually come overstuffed when you buy them. I actually ripped out a bunch of stuffing so I could use them proper. But inside him, I have a good chunk of dice. Now, because I'm DM, because I've been doing this for years, I have slowly gone to some websites, Q Workshop mostly, order my own custom dice from them. So I have the Forest set, I have the Special Q Workshop, I have the Tribal ones, I have the Dragon ones, I have the Nuclear dice. This die, this nice little white D20, has a nuclear sign on it. This is the most unlucky die I've ever seen. It almost always rolls a 1 or 2. I don't know if it was just made the wrong way, it's heavy on one side or something, but I've never rolled a good roll with this die. This is what I roll for a monster when I have pity on the party. You know, everyone has dice that they roll for their characters, and ones they roll for monsters. And that is one which I always roll for monsters. Now, when I play, I can't pull my bag all the time, so I have my dice cup, which is a human skull with xenomorphs along the edges. And these guys are too big for it, so I have a D100, which is a great one. I have a body part die, which has chest, legs, arm, everything like that. And then a weather die, which is getting worn out, but it has different weather. And that's it. That's what we use for D&D. And also, I got the odd stuff. I got like the weird D4 that surprisingly rolls quite well. And then last but not least in dice, I have, well, we're going to have more eventually, but this is the Star Wars dice, which I'm keeping separate. They're special dice. They're primarily D8s, D12s, and D6s. That's all there is. But it's a weird system where you have to upgrade and downgrade on them, and I'll go in more detail on another session when I go through the Star Wars D&D campaign. But they are very unique, colorful dice. It's a very interesting system, which we've actually had a lot of fun playing so far. Now, let's see. Another thing. As your DM, you're going to slowly get things over time. One thing that you need to do, because you have those players that will throw a die and it'll go off table. Now, we actually bought this poker table. It's a six-seater, has 2, 3, 4, 5, Yeah, it has 10 cup holders built into it. It's a nice foam red, and it's a nice green mat underneath, which is great for friction. We've had a lot less dice flying across the room with it. But for those people in the past who didn't, we had dice towers. Now these guys have been through hell. This guy, there is glue gun glue all over him. There's a new base at the bottom. He has been hit, smashed, thrown. I don't know why, but everything on Earth hates these things. These things are meant to die. But they're good for rolling multiple dice. They work well, they're light, and they last forever. If they break, you simply just get a hot glue gun, put them back together, and they're good. And trust me, they do break. You have friends who get. Don't buy the wood ones. Don't buy them. They don't last long. I'm paranoid with my DM towers here that they fall apart one day. Next thing, you're going to need a good mat. So right here, we have a nice little mat. On one side, it's hexagons. The other side is all grid, which is great. These are, you can put marker on them. They're wipeable. They're good, although if you leave the marker on too long, it does stick in. Best way to remove it, put toothpaste on it, wait an hour, wash it off, comes right out. Weird, I know, but it's just that the pores in the mat, they stick to the stuff too much. This is actually my first DM mat, which has a nice little background here. We actually used chalk on this for a long time. And here's the other one. Those who don't know what this is, if you recognize that, that is the mat from HeroQuest. I found this on a little Chinese supplier in China, which was pretty cool. Random things to find on the websites there. Next thing to have for your players. Pencils. Go to the store, buy pencils at the dollar store, buy 2 packs, throw them in a cup, and have them for your players. And a bunch of erasers. Always have them. And insist on sheets. Don't do cell phone characters, because people pretend they're looking at the cell phone, they start looking at Fuck My Life or random videos, stuff like that. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. In the basement here, we actually have a cold storage, so I tell people, bring food, that will be for D&D only, and they can get that. We also have a little container, which is a seal-through can. Basically, if someone brings a bag of chips and they don't finish it all, we roll it up, put it in the can, that's for next time. And that's the D&D group's food. And everyone just keeps, I say, don't worry about pitching in, just bring more stuff, put it in the cold storage, and that's for everybody. It's a community thing. And it's worked out very well so far. Have the community covered or something like that for the group. It'll save you headaches of, oh, you owe me $20 for the pizza, or you owe me that. Just, alright, don't pay me back, just put another case of drinks in the cold storage. That's the best way. That's how commerce has gone well here. Next things. These are other little tools that I got. These are actually displays, which are for just like little miniature figures to sell. Those little gumball machine figures. These are little display cases for them. But the good thing for them is my character's levitating. Okay, he's levitating. There. Now it's a good visual. You see what's happening, so when people look at the board, they can see who's flying, who's up on the wall. Oh, my character flew up 20 feet. Okay. He's up 20 feet. I got 2 boxes of these things, so it's a great little tool. If you find them online, they're under display cases. They're pretty cheap all the time. You buy them in packs of 12, and they are perfect representing stuff. Or if I have a magic barrier over me. Okay, magic barrier's on you. Visual, on, done. Yeah, great little tool for a DM. Another thing, go to the Goodwill or Salvation Army or whatever little thrift store is where you live, and look at board games. One which I recommend is Go or Pente, and you get these little beads. So not everyone can spend a fortune on miniatures. I got them in a bulk amount, which is a random amount. I'll show you those in a sec. But I got a bunch of little goblins and a little creature. So say if I have one of that, I say, okay, goblins here, and then there are one here, 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 and here. And then I just use the beads for it. And if it's a different type of monster, use a different color. That's what I say. Get a Pente board or find some little flat beads that are different colors, and that way you can represent different monsters, different colors. It's easy, quick reference for complicated battles. Which, if you get DM, as a DM, you will have those swarm fights where you want to say, these are all these, and this is other stuff. And it makes it clear for the players, and it helps when You know, someone goes to wash comes back, or someone just drifted off and they didn't pay attention for a bit, but it keeps a good reference in their head. The next thing, which is useful, you use the papers here, it's good. One which I have done for my players is these. Plastic little binder sheets. You can save for your paper. Some people prefer it just stapled and loose. I actually like having these plastic little binders on your character paper. One, you put character paper plus note paper in it, and you can note down what's going on in the campaign, and also it's easier to write on these. It adds a bit of a backing, so when you write, you won't break your paper or something like that. I'll show you an example. Okay. There's my old character sheet. That's cool, one from my old campaign, but all stuff's in there. Magic details, campaign details, backstory, everything's there. Every time I add something to the player, it goes in this sheet. And it's a great way to reference them. Next thing. As DM. Some DMs do this, others don't. I find it's a good way to keep the game going. If you have players that waste time, especially if you're in a major combat, no long conversations. I say, how many words can you say in 4 seconds? Three, maybe 4. I say, so in combat, you can only say that many words per turn. So when I yell, you can't yell complicated instructions. It's not like comic books where you see a guy jumping through the air, and while they're jumping, the whole paragraph is in their mouth, but they're talking to this person. It doesn't work that way. You can only get a few words out. So that's where this comes in. Someone's in combat, and they're hemming and hawing way too much, and especially when we want to get the session moving, I egg time them. And it's only you, again, I've only had to use this a few times ever, but it's used in games where you have to get the flow going. I know it's complicated, I know it's a lot of stuff to do at once, but no one wants to sit there for 20 minutes while you hem and haw and read the book manual after you've had 30 minutes to get to your turn, and now you're deciding what you want to do. Decide during other players' turns. That's what you should be doing. Yeah. So, anytime, give them time frame of making a choice. And that's a good 2 minutes there. That's enough time to choose what you want to do. I'm not saying 10 seconds, I'm saying take 2 minutes, figure out what you want to do it. Don't spend 20 minutes debating it or pulling up a book and researching every spell that you have in your spell list and try to find out what to do. Make your decision. And if you don't know, ask the other player, because I guarantee all the other players have looked at these spells before too. They'll help you. Next one. So say if you have campaign, you want the different types of dungeons, different modular things. So I got dungeons, town stuff, doors, magic doors, open fields, basements, towns during nighttime and daytime, caves, more rooms for dungeons, abyssal, whole dioramas, and other stuff. And I just put these in a binder. These are great for just tools if you want to do stuff. I'm not a big grid person. I try to focus mostly on the imagination, but you need visuals for some people. Some people need more visuals, and also as a DM, you don't get mixed up because you might forget this person already jumped and went over the wall over there or something like that. Yeah, and visuals are always important. So I'm going to pick up the camera here, so I'm going to walk over and get it, and I'm going to give you an example of a couple of visuals. Alright? So let's take a look here. Okay, so like right there, that's our Star Wars Galaxy map from our new campaign. And right down there at the bottom, there's all the jobs we're doing. So those will help characters figure out what they're doing and lead them along. Hence why the sword collection was also a good thing, because when you do detailed combat for different types of weapons, from spears to swords, you want characters to know what they're using. And so sometimes I say, pick it up, visualize it, show me how you're doing it. And it adds a new layer to the combat system. We use little plastic swords when we're kids and everything else. Here is the figure. Here's all my miniatures for regular D&D. And excuse the mess, and there's all my Star Wars D&D figures. Now, I know visual isn't great on that, but I'll do a part video another time for it. But that's all it is. You have to do visuals. You have to walk people through it. I have a whole cabinet, actually, which I made in high school. That guy over there. That is all our Star Wars D&D stuff. Star Wars, D&D, all our other RPGs, that's everything in that cabinet. That's all the character sheets, extra dice, extra pieces, everything used. So, that's pretty much my D&D gear. That's the main stuff I use to DM. And, so if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and good luck on being a DM. Thanks.